Well, good morning, everyone. Andy again here on the farm. Got a ton of things going on around here. I've been wanting to get some footage of the guy working with the loader, and I just ain't had time. But he's here this morning. Let's see. You can see him down there working. He's almost finished up. He's got just that little bit down there in the corner left to clear, and he'll be done. But I'll get around to showing you everything else he's done here in a second. But today's video is going to be on using a post hole digger or a 3-point hitch auger. You know, if you have a farm and you're planning on having livestock and animals, that's one thing I really recommend getting, because at some point in time you're going to be planting fence posts. So anyways, we're going to show you the basics of it today, and we're going to be out here planting some posts in our garden. It's supposed to rain here right after lunch, and we're trying to get 100,000 things done before lunch. And the thing is, nothing's went as planned this morning. So I had a bunch of unexpected things come up that I wasn't anticipating on. Last night I had all kinds of plans of what I was going to be doing today, and well, this morning after I woke up, those plans changed. But that's how it goes. That's life. But I've already got the tractor down here warming up. That's one thing I highly recommend to you guys. If you guys use a diesel tractor, make sure you let the thing warm up before you go to working with it. You know, it's real important on a diesel engine to let it warm up. But anyways, we're going to get on the tractor and ride over here to the garden and see what we can get done. I'm gonna give you show you what we got going on here. Yesterday evening when I got in from work, I was able to plant that post right over there and that post, and I kind of run out of time yesterday evening too. I had to go pick up the kids, and you know, like always, life was getting in the way of life. But right here is what we've got. We've got two more posts we got to plant. We've already got this corner post and this corner post. Now, what I've got is this is nothing but a carpenter string right here running from that post to the other corner post behind me. And so if you're planting a post and you want to keep everything in a straight line, just so you can make things look good, you know, when you look down that fence, you don't see this in the fence line. You see a straight line in the fence line. So I've got marked halfway between this post and this post already. I just got a little stick stuck down in the ground here. That's where the post will be going, and that'll be our center post. Then right here we have another post that'll go up. Now this is a wide enough span just for a 6-foot gate. And that'll be kind of like our walk-in gate, and I can drive my small tractor, I can drive it through this this here gate. And you know, that gate's not going to be used much except for getting in and out of the garden during the gardening season. Now, what my plan is from this gate, from this post here all the way over to that corner post, I'm going to have the wire attached to that corner post down there, but have it attached so that I can loosen it and take it apart, and then I'm just going to roll the wire up and be able to get in and out of here with my big tractor to do the tilling, be able to get in here with my dump truck and dump the leaves and stuff on the garden like we've got piled up over here, and we've got some piled here. But you know, that way I'll be able to get in and out to do the maintenance type work that goes on in the spring and the fall. But we're going to get started on the post here. Now, I will say I've got to work up a bracing type system. I put this brace right here in just because when I pulled that wire it started pulling on that post. It didn't move it much. I only had about an 1/8 inch gap down at the very bottom, like right against the ground, but that was more than I wanted, so I put that in just temporarily. I'm gonna take and actually cut this in half, and I'll be getting a few more of these 4x6s to use in the corners of every single post, but that'll only be in the corner post. However, we're gonna get started here, try to get this hole in the ground. And one other thing I want to mention about this string is, you see, I don't have it in the center of the post or anything. I've got it wrapped around, and this string is out there on the outside of that post, and that's where the fence is going to be running. This string is actually simulating the fence, so the post is going to be on the inside of this string when I bury it over here. And I've got this pulled tight. That is tight. But like I say, on the outside over there too, I have it, and I'm going to be digging the holes like right here. This hole is going to be on the inside of that string, and so once I'm done, I want my hole to be to where the outside of that post is flush with this string right here. We'll show you all that here in just a few minutes. First, we're going to get to digging. Folks, one thing I do want to mention here before I get started drilling this hole is, you've seen when I set this down, I made sure that little tip on the very bottom of the auger hit where that stick was. Now, we're going to pull the stick out of the way. Now, if I were building a building and using posts and poles to support the building, you want this to be accurate, like dead accurate on where you want that post, so everything is lined up and square. However, where I'm just building this fence, and it's not really, it doesn't have to be precise. This hole may actually be an inch or two off from where it should be, but I've got it roughly in the center of these two outside corner posts. Now, when you set that, like if you mark it, I had it sitting on the outside, and you can see right here, my string is just to the inside, just to the outside of the auger bit there, and that should line us up about right to where our post will line up where we want it when we put it in. Now, I've got to do a quick walk around here just to make sure, just kind of do a visual on it to make sure that auger is standing up and down straight, and then I'm going to look at it this way, and we're pretty straight. Now, I will tell you, I'm using 6-inch post. This is a 12-inch auger bit. That gives you room for error. You don't have to be exactly right in order to get the post right. So it gives you, like I say, it gives you a little play to work with. And that's one thing I do recommend. If you're putting in a post, say a 4-inch post, you probably want to go with, I think they make a 9-inch auger. And you just want to go with something bigger than what you need, so it gives you a little bit of margin of error there to work with. But like I say, we're all looks pretty straight. We're going to start digging this hole. Now, as the auger goes down, the tractor itself needs to roll forwards, because that auger, everything, the angle is going to change on it. So I'm going to let the tractor roll forwards, and that should keep my auger straight as I go down. And I may even work it back and forth if I'm having trouble with the auger going into the ground. And sometimes that happens around here with this hard clay soil we have. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I don't know if you see me working that auger back and forth, and I ended up having to get into it from a different position here. But I probably hit a root or something. There's actually a tree right behind me, so there's liable to have been a root under there. Or a rock, or the ground could just be hard. You can see it's nothing but old red clay here. That's all we have. And but so look right here. Now what you want to do is make sure when you're lining everything up with this string, you don't want anything touching it, because anything touching it could throw it off the least little bit. So I'm raking all this dirt back from where the string's running. And it actually looks like my hole's just a little bit off. But what you do in that case is you bring in the old-fashioned post hole diggers. Now sometimes you just can't help it. When that auger starts to go down, it'll move this way or that way. If it hits something or it hits a softer spot of dirt, you just can't help it. There's nothing you can do. And you can try to pick that auger back up and recenter it, but it's just going to fall right back into the little spot where it was already digging. So, but when I bury a post and I use an auger, you always still have to clean it out the old-fashioned way. Now you can see me when I was picking the auger up with it turning, that'll kind of sling the dirt out, and that gets most of the dirt out of the hole, but it still don't get it all. So you have to get that very bottom layer down there cleaned out. And like I said, if I was building a building and using this post for a building post where, you know, everything's got to be accurate, like I mean within a 1/4 inch at least, then you definitely really want to pay attention to this outside string and make sure you've got everything lined up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm still going to shave off that wall right inside that hole right across here, just like that. I'm going to shave it off with these it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but I'll show you here in a minute. We're going to shave all this off right there to allow us for that post to be right. Then we're going to clean out the hole, and then I'll show you putting the post in and show you how we do that. There's some solid rock red clay down here in the bottom of this hole. Got to love that red clay. You know, I'm actually kind of glad that this hole didn't work out just perfect, because that gives everybody a chance to see things don't always work out as planned. I've probably dug 500 holes with that auger right there, and I can count, I'd say at least half of those are the only ones that actually worked out just perfect. And like I said, it's not really nothing you can do, because there's no exact way to guide that auger to go down exactly where you want it to. And if there is, somebody please post it down there in the comments and let me know about it, because I don't know it. Like I said, all of our fence posts have been done just like this right here. And you know, a lot of people drive posts in the ground, but we don't have a post driver, and I'm not gonna pay somebody to come and drive a post when I can dig a hole just like this. And heck, cleaning out this hole like this is always good for you. Get some little exercise. Everybody needs exercise. Some people go to the gym. I just walk out the door. Because when you live on a farm, there's always something going on that's going to require some manual labor. I promise you that. So I've about got it where I want it. Down in, you see, that hole's probably 3 foot deep. It'd be nice to have it deeper, but it's just that red clay down the bottom. I might clean out a little bit more of it, but I'll get this thing finished getting ready. I'll go over and get a post, bring it in, and we'll show you how to install the post once you get your hole dug. Well guys, we're on the little 2305 with the loader on it. We're going to pick us up a post, go get that thing put in. I'm going to show you how you can install a post. While I'm on this tractor here, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or not. You've seen us, we were working on a landscape job the other day. And you know, if you want to see some landscape lawn care type work, most of that I'll have posted on my Instagram channel. You know, we are, well, you know, the name of the channel is Lawson Lawn and Farm. And the lawn part comes from me being in the lawn care landscape business. But I don't really post a lot of that on the YouTube channel just because I'm not going to really film at a customer's house. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But I do put it on Instagram. And so, you know, make sure you get over there on Instagram and check us out. And of course that post didn't pick up the way it was supposed to. Do there. Get over here and roll it up real quick. Roll it onto the teeth of the bucket. That's one thing you definitely need when you're putting a post in, the level. But here we go. Took this thing over to the garden. These are some 16-foot 6x6 treated posts. I've got a whole building down here behind me. I don't know, you've probably seen it in previous videos. That's the same post we used on it. And now you got to be careful putting something this wide. Because, man, around my place there's nowhere that's wide enough to get it through. You got to navigate around all this stuff. There we go. Now, I don't know, some of you guys comment and tell me what you think. Maybe this ain't the proper way to put in a post, but it's the way I put in a post, and it works. So hopefully if you've never put in a post before, this will give you some heads up on exactly what you need to do. You know, it's not just digging a hole and sticking a post in the ground. There's more to it than that. And if you don't put a post in the ground right, a year from now, you'll definitely know it. So, here we are, we're pulling back up over to the other side of the garden. Now keep in mind, folks, this garden is in my yard. So, you'd think that I wouldn't have a deer problem in my yard, but I do. Deer are awful around here. It's hard to grow anything. But hopefully this here extremely tall fence is going to take care of that. Alright, so see what I'm doing here. I'm going to let the post down, and I'm going to have the end of it right there at my hole. Now obviously if you don't have a front end loader, you can tote your post over there by hand, and with these 16-foot posts you're probably going to need an extra hand. I mean, you might, I guess if you're a big strong man, you might could tote it by yourself, but I'm not a big strong man, so I'm gonna show you how I do it. All right, so here we go. What I'm gonna do is lift up on this end of the post over here and let it fall into the hole over there on that side. Now first, I kind of need to line my post up just right with that hole. Then I'm gonna go over here on this end. I'm actually gonna let the bucket down just a little. All right, now I'm gonna get on this end of it. And we're gonna pick it up and walk up the post just like this right here. Let that bad boy fall off in the ground. See there, we got our post down, and sorry about that. Once again, the UPS man came while I'm trying to film a video. I don't know why that always happens, but it does. Anyways, back to the post. We've got it in the ground. Now what we're going to do, we need to make sure this post is level. That's a must. You've got to have that post level. So I'm going to check it both ways and we'll see what we got. Alright, so when I get my post to where I want it, I always kick in just a little bit of dirt around the base of it to kind of help hold that thing in place. Get that dirt kicked in around the base and then check it again. Yeah, and we're about dead on right there. So now I don't recommend using this to tamp around your post, but just to get me started, I'll take my level and sort of touch up some of the dirt right down in there. Now this post still ain't gonna sit here. I'm gonna have to throw a little more dirt in around it. But just to show you what we do. All right, now this post is level. You see that string? It's right on the outside face of that post. That's what you want. It's straight, the post is sitting straight, and it's level up and down this way and then this way as well. Like I said, that's what you want when you're putting a post in. Now let's check it one more time. Yep, check it out right there. We're level that way and we're level that way. So this post is ready to be put in the ground. I mean, ready to be tamped in. Now, when tamping in, like I don't know if you saw in my fencing video on the tools used, but I use my round metal rod here. I'm gonna get a shovel to kick the dirt in. And like I said, I use this round metal rod. That is, I think, was an old axle rod. Not really sure. It's got some grooves down here in the end that look like it might have been an axle. But first off, we'll kick some dirt in around this post. Just a little bit of dirt in, just to get you started. Now this is the most important part of putting a post in, is putting this dirt back around the post. This is what either makes or breaks your post. You tamp that dirt down. It's constantly tamp, tamp, tamp. And sometimes, you know, you can spend a while tamping, but you gotta get that dirt tamped tight. Like I said, that's the key factor in getting your post in the ground and where it's sturdy, and it's not going to go anywhere, and it'll be standing straight for years to come. So you just keep tamping And you're going to want to do this process over and over and over till you've got that hole full. You can see right there what's going on. I'm just mashing that dirt down with the tip of that little metal rod, and I'm going to want to go all the way around this post doing this. All right, y'all, so I've got all this filled in. I'm going to show you the last round of tamping here. Like I said before, this is absolutely the most important part. And you know, some of you guys might ask me, Andy, why ain't you putting in concrete around this post? Well, if you're putting a post like this in the ground on your farm, you know, this is not inspected by any inspector or anything. It's not like I'm building a deck, so there's no rules I have to follow saying I have to use concrete. Well, for one thing, concrete's another expense that you don't have to do. Plus, when you put concrete around a post, I don't care what anybody says, that post is gonna rot. It'll rot off right at the top of the ground every time. And don't ask me why. I don't know if the concrete holds moisture against that wood and makes it rot or what. I'm not sure. But it will rot. So I highly recommend, if you don't have to put concrete around your post, don't put concrete around your post. Do it like this right here. Plus, using this tamping rod right here, some really good arm exercise. Man done this every day, he'd be something. But you just keep putting that dirt around, packing it down. Pack it down. And the reason for my tamping rod being sort of small, but yet heavy, is that small diameter down here of this of the end of the rod. You know, it helps really pack that ground down tight. And that's what you want. If I was using something with a wider head on it, it'd be packing faster, but it wouldn't be packing harder. So you want it to pack as hard as you can. And like this post, it's pretty stiff. It's not moving. It's not going to go anywhere. Now I know I said earlier it's supposed to rain this evening. I'm really wanting to get this done because that rain will also help settle that dirt down around that post before I go to putting a little bit of tension on this post from the wire. But that's about it. Yeah, I'll take my last little pack in there and I'll just mash it down with my foot, make it look real neat. But look at that. I'm shaking this post. I mean, it's got a little bit of play in it, but it's from the post, not down there in the ground. And that's what you want to see. Now, in case you guys don't know, we're working on a deer fence around our garden. Like I said before, these are all 16-foot timbers, and I'm not going to make the fence 16 foot tall. You know, we got like 3 or 4 foot of it in the ground. But I'm going to cut each one of these posts off roughly around 10 foot, maybe just a little bit taller. And all around the bottom edge, just to keep the small critters out, such as groundhogs and rabbits, I've got this regular old dog lot wire. And then from there up, I'm going to put regular, like just a small gauge strand of electric wire, and I'll put it around about a foot apart. So I'm probably going to put one like right in here, right in here, right in here, till I get to the top of the post. And keep my fingers crossed that keeps them darn deer out. Last year I had an 8-foot fence made around it that was kind of like a temporary fence, and they jumped 8-foot fence. So once a deer figures out they can get in there, they're gonna get in. But anyways, that's the basics on putting a post in the ground. And just remember, don't use concrete unless you have to, and make sure you tamp that thing good. Like I said, that's one of having it level and tamping it is the most important parts of putting a post in. I don't care what anybody says, that's it. It's got to be level and it's got to be tamped. Now you want to constantly, while you're tamping, make sure you check the level, because as you tamp, you'll push this post one way or the other because you're tightening up the dirt on this side, well, you might push it the opposite way. So constantly keep a check on that post to make sure it's level. And you know, that's it. Anybody can put a post in. As long as you don't mind working, you can put a post in. But I've got one more post to plant here, and we're going to hang a gate on that post. So I'm going to get back to it and try to get this thing done before the rain comes in, get these posts up, and maybe we'll even have time to make a video on hanging a gate if I get that far today. So anyways, I'm glad you watched. I hope you come back for more. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. And you know, we're going to have all types of things here on the farm to show you throughout the year and the next couple of years, really. So I mean, if you look out there, there's a lot of grass around here that's got to be sown. There's a lot of erosion control work that's got to be done. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year for me. So as always, thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and remember to hit that like button, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Thanks.